11, it is asking you to perform the indicated computation, and it's asking you to write the answer in scientific notation. You can put this right into the calculator, so let's do that. So we have parenthesis 6 times 10 squared times parenthesis 8 times 10 to the 5th. Make sure you go all the way outside of the exponent before you put your parenthesis, or else what would happen is what just happened to me there. Press enter and you get this. This number we have to write in scientific notation, so let's do that. Alright, so we have this. To write this in scientific notation, I need to move the decimal point, which is right here, and move it over until I get it in between the 4 and 8, because we remember in scientific notation the number has to be between 1 and 10. So moving them over, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that means I will have 4.8 times 10 to the positive 8. Going to the left means I'll have a positive exponent. Okay, so that would be my answer. So let's type it in. So I have 4.8 times 10 to the 8. And that's number 11. So number 12, it says to multiply and simplify. When you multiply variables with the same basis, all you do is add the exponents. So 6 plus 7 is 13. So my answer is going to be k to the 13th power. That's number 12. Number 13, same idea. First we multiply the numbers in front of each other, so negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. These both had the same letter, so we add the exponents since we're multiplying them. So 7 plus 8 is 15, so x to the 15th power. And that's number 13. Number 14, we are again multiplying. So we multiply the numbers in front, the coefficients, to each other first. So 6 times negative 5 times 1 would be negative 30. Now we see each of these are z's. So we add the exponents since they're being multiplied. So 11 plus 8 is 19. 19 plus 3 is 22. So z to the 22nd. And that's number 14. Number 15, it says to simplify the expression. We have 1 over a to the 4th, a to the negative 6. So let's take a closer look at that. So the first thing I notice is that these a's are being multiplied to each other. And they're the same base, so I just add the exponents. So 4 plus negative 6 gives me negative 2. So now I have a negative exponent at the bottom. Depending on where it's at, if the negative exponent is up top, you move it down. If the negative exponent is at the bottom, you move it up top. So I will move this up top, make it positive, and I have a to the positive 2 power. So that would be my answer. So let's type it in. So I have a squared for number 15. 16, it is asking you to write the expression with positive exponents only, and then simplify as possible. So let's take a look at it. So we have negative 2 to the negative 2 power. We have a negative exponent, so that means you have to move it underneath 1, and we make it positive. Now, this is the point where you have to be careful. This entire number isn't being squared, just a 2. I know that seems kind of funny, but this negative is not being squared in this case, so leave the negative alone. Just do 2 squared, which is 4. Then put the negative back in front, you'll have 1 over negative 4. If you had negative 2 in parentheses being squared, then you'd have a positive 4. But in this case, it's just going to be negative 4. I'll show you on the calculator the difference. So negative 2 squared gives you negative 4. But if I have the entirety of negative 2 being squared, in parentheses, I'll have a positive 4. Because the negative isn't included in the square here, but it is included here. So just be careful with your parentheses. We don't have it in our problem, so you do not put parentheses in it. So the answer will be 1 over negative 4. So let's type that in. So typing in, I'll have 1 over negative 4. And that's number 16. Number 17, notice I have a negative exponent at the bottom. Just move it up top and make it positive. I'll have p to the positive 16 power. And that's number 17. Number 18, there's a lot going on with it. We have 0 exponents and negative exponents. So let's take a closer look at that. So I have 8p to the negative 1st power, j to the negative 2nd power, all over f to the 0 power. The first thing I look at and notice is the f to the 0 power. That becomes 1 because anything to the 0 power aside from 0 is going to be 1. So if this is all over top of 1, I'll just have 8p to the negative 1 power, j to the negative 2 power. So now I notice the p has a negative exponent and the j has a negative exponent. The 8 doesn't. So I'm going to move the p and j and put it underneath 8. So I have 8 over p to the first power, which we don't write 1, we just leave it as p, and then j to the positive 2, and then that's going to be my answer. In my answer, I have 8 over pj squared. That's number 18. All right, number 19, it is asking you to evaluate the following expression for y equals negative 3 and p equals 4. So let's take a closer look at that. So I have first, I notice a p to the 0 power, so I'm automatically going to make that 1. So I'm going to have 1 over p to the negative 3rd power. I have a negative exponent at the bottom, so just move it up top and make it positive, so y to the positive 3. Now all I'm going to do is substitute in negative 3 in for y. Notice how I'm putting negative 3 in parentheses because the entire thing is being raised to the 3rd power. Remember, that's a difference. So I'll have negative 3 in parentheses to the 3rd power is negative 27. So that's my answer. So my answer is going to be negative 27. Number 20, easiest one of all. Anything to the 0 power aside from 0 is going to be 1. So all this mess here to the 0 power is just going to be 1. So your answer is just 1. And that is your study guide.